Here's what people don't want to hear, but
Sure.
thank God I'm a realist. I feel like Deadpool, the movies have, they've set sail. And you know
I
what
think
they got
it's-
playing with Deadpool right now? You know what they have playing? They got goose egg. Zero.
You're,
Zero.
Nerderotic.com.
The MCU has become the gold standard of franchises, surpassing the pathetic Disney Star Wars, so it's unquestionable what Kevin Feige has accomplished over the last 10 plus years. But as the MCU approaches, we get some dire news from Rob Liefeld, who is slowly becoming a national treasure. He roasts Kevin Feige, and it looks like Deadpool 3 might not be happening. Now, before we get started, I don't think it's a secret that there's been a lot of craziness going on with this platform of late. Friends of mine getting strikes for speaking their opinions, live streams being struck down for no apparent reason, and notifications are not going out for live streams, including with yours truly. So the one way you can help, because we need you now more than ever, is subscribe to the channel and like and share the videos. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and I'm grateful for your continued support. Hot off the heels of the rumored Ironheart TV show announcement, we get this from Bounding into Comics and the great John F. Trent. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld questions Marvel Studios Phase 4 plans, says Deadpool 3 not happening. Of course, this is just one source who just so happens to be the creator of Deadpool. Now, in this interview with the website that I don't like very much, he looks a little pickled, but it doesn't make anything he says less true. And I love that he roasts Kevin Feige. And before I even get into the article, do you think for 1 second we're going to get a Deadpool like Deadpool 1 or even Deadpool 2 with Disney? I don't think so. Deadpool Cable and Domino creator Rob Liefeld recently declared that Marvel Studios and head honcho Kevin Feige don't have any plans at the moment for Deadpool, whether that's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or separate in an R-rated Marvel brand. And let's face it, Disney's going to have to do that. They've done it in the past with Touchstone, and they're going to have to do it again if they want to compete against HBO Max and the WB, who I believe is a little ahead of them right now. More on that later. Liefeld discussed Deadpool late last week with Inverse. Now, some of you might remember Inverse for writing hit pieces on members of the Fandom Menace, including my good friend Doomcock, and was rather blunt about his opinion on Marvel's Phase 4 and their lack of plans for Deadpool. When asked about a Deadpool X-Force movie at around the 13-minute mark, Liefeld responds.
Here's what people don't want to hear, but
Sure.
thank God I'm a realist. I feel like Deadpool, the movies have, they've set sail. Like we got two brilliant movies.
He then went on to discuss current societal trends in the culture, and we live in a culture that always looks forward because all they ever are selling us is next, next, next. Yeah? You like that? Here's next. Yeah? You like that? Here's next. I've told my kids it's a fever.
Guess what? I got a fever.
You like Hunger Games? Well, we're going to start splitting those books into 2 movies, okay? Chapter 3 is 2 movies. And you like Twilight? 2 movies.
You like Harry Potter? It's the fever.
Guess what? I got a fever.
For me, as the fever calms down, people just need to chill out and realize that, dude, Deadpool 1 and 2 were released within 2 years of each other, 2018. And I just can't.
Liefeld then questioned Kevin Feige's plan for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm not really that crazy about Marvel's plan right now.
This is going to send the shill sites reeling. How are they going to get that Disney cheddar if they can't pump up the Eternals and Shang-Chi?
It's the first time I go, hey, Feige, did you even have a plan? Like, it wasn't your plan was Eternals and Shang-Chi?
Paul Gulacy's art on The Master of Kung Fu was nothing short of genius. Kirby's Eternals were great, even though I didn't love them at the time when I was a kid. I certainly appreciate them now. And the problem is, everyone, we know we are not going to get either of those visions in these films. They'll probably be saddled with identity politics, which of course they don't bring up here, but I will be happy to bring it up because that's probably going to be the case. And that's what derails your franchises, your films. And there's been a lot of talk of that around these parts, considering the lockdown has changed absolutely everything. We're watching the comic book industry collapse around us. And it's because of Disney's Marvel, their focus on these films. And if you're not going to have Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth for much longer, you're not going to have a franchise. And if they think there's any kind of a future with either of these two films, then they are kidding themselves, and so are you, Access Media.
That was your plan? Like, and Black Widow? Okay,
Yeah.
dude, so they close the door. Chris Evans says goodbye. Robert Downey Jr. says goodbye. Black Widow falls off a cliff, says goodbye. They almost lose Tom Holland to Sony.
Yep. It's
Okay,
tough times.
but you're a genius. But Marvel, you're a genius.
I got a fever.
But never fear, because we got Riri Williams and Ironheart coming to Disney Plus. I mentioned this a little bit in my last video, but let's go over this rumor. Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, is rumored to be coming to Disney Plus and getting her own series. The rumor comes from Thomas Polito at CinemaSpot. This isn't the first time we've heard about Ironheart joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, the new rumor indicates the series is in active development at Disney Plus with a targeted shooting date sometime next year. Now, there's a good news, bad news scenario here. There's no way it would have made it as a movie. So I'm thinking they're going to start dumping the all new, all different SJW Marvel stuff on Disney Plus, which might be a good plan, but it still makes it part of the MCU. And it was a failure, a complete and utter failure. In my last video, I showed you the sales figures for Ironheart, and it was canceled after issue 12 when it dipped under 10,000 total sales to comic shops, not to actual readers. Now, there's been an awful lot of talk around these parts. Are things going to change? Are we still going to get comic books and films filled with identity politics and intersectional feminism? And the answer is maybe. But I'll tell you what isn't a good sign: sitting on a Deadpool 3 movie and developing Ironheart and She-Hulk from Dana Schwartz. But we did get a good sign from DC, and this might be their one chance to surpass Marvel. Rumor Supergirl movie is canceled and Henry Cavill will be back as Superman. We mentioned the Supergirl film supposedly in development at Warner Brothers in our story about Batwoman and CW Supergirl's ratings. That production may be off the table now, but there's more. Henry Cavill could return to action. A rumor from Heroic Hollywood and an exclusive source from their claims Supergirl's big screen return is on hold. If this is indeed true, this will be the single smartest move the Warner Brothers has done since greenlighting the Joker, until WB figures out what to do with Superman in a post-Justice League climate. I'm curious to see what the entertainment industry in general is going to do in this post-woke era, and we get an early good sign from DC, but unfortunately it looks like Disney Marvel is going to stay the course, which is too bad because Deadpool 3 would be a sure thing.
I think I like the Deadpool films. I can't look, if they started making Deadpool today, it would come out in 4 years.
Yeah.
I can't get excited about that. So
That's fair.
I hate that that's the answer, but I can't gloss it up and go, oh yeah, gee golly.
March 16th, 2020 was the expiration date of the Ghostbusters 2016 corporate fake woke virtue signaling marketing, and it couldn't die soon enough. It's too bad Disney can't take advantage of that by greenlighting and fast-tracking a hard R Deadpool 3, but instead we're going to get a couple of blokes kissing in the Eternals. And we'll see if that scene stays in the film when it gets released in a certain large Eastern country. Now, as far as Deadpool is concerned, he's never moved the needle for me in comics, but I've never been a bigger fan of Rob Liefeld than I am right now.
And you know
I
what
think
they got
it's-
playing with Deadpool right now? You know what they have playing? They got goose egg. Zero.
You're,
Zero. I've told my kids it's the fever.
I got a fever.
It's the fever.
I got a fever.
It's the fever.
I got a fever.
The first thing that popped in my head when Disney bought Marvel way back in 2009 was, we'll probably get some pretty damn good movies and it'll probably cost us the comic book industry. And that's exactly what has happened. And now that deal with the devil has come due and we are headed into the MCU. And I did not mean that to rhyme. So as Disney's Marvel continues to use their comics as an experiment in gender studies, they let Deadpool collect dust on the shelf. And the only other movie I'm looking forward 2, Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange, is years away. I guess time will tell, but I agree with Rob Liefeld. Deadpool is probably done, and if we do get one, it will be in a few years, it'll be PG-13, and it will be a shadow of its former self. And you have to ask, would Ryan Reynolds want to be a part of that? I don't think so. Until next time, everyone have a great day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you heard. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
Do what I do. Do what I do. I set myself up for all the haters. Don't give me those hater questions, though. That's bullshit. By saying, I'm living in the past, man. I'm just living in the past. Do like I do. Live in the past.
I got a fever.
nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.
And the only prescription is more cowbell.